So the quilting stitches I've used on the quilt, I've got some scrap batting and fabric and marked out, well, stitched out where I put different stitches. Now this is going to be awkward for me because I'm actually doing it through the camera. So I've got my ruler foot on. I obviously brought me bottom thread up to the top so I could stitch these out. So now this is the snowdrops I did. So I basically I've got a 2-inch border. There's the white one and the blue one next to it. I did white on the blue, white thread on the blue fabric and blue thread on the white fabric. But I put my small 4.5-inch ruler next to my foot and basically took it down about 3 inches, something like that. As I can't drop the needle, I have to turn the wheel because this is an old machine. Turn my ruler so it goes straight across and then go to within 1/4 inch of the edge. Which is your ruler foot is 1/4 inch, and then back to the middle. Turn it diagonally and do the same again. Make sure your needle's in the middle. Turn it the other diagonal and again. Back to the middle and then go down by about another 3.5 inches. However long you want them to be. Diagonally. Back in the middle and then down. And I did that all the way down. And as you can see there, it's got the stars, snowdrops, whatever you want to call them. I next had the, well, not next, but I'll take it down to the bottom. I didn't do these on the side, but I thought it might help you. See, basically my needle went down vertically with the top of the flying geese, and then it's, you go up, loop round, back to start. pull these stitches up, plume round and back in, and that's your third plume. To the middle, plume up and back, and there it is. I'm going to have to see if I can move this camera some way. Then what I did is I had my other foot on, so I wasn't using my ruler, and I went along whoops it's so awkward to see, stitched up. And when I got to the end of that pass, I stitched in the ditch down the other side. Comes it. Whoops, now in the way. To a certain extent I must be getting used to it, because, well, I'm staying nearer to the lines. There. For the wood effect, nice wavy line, and then go back down. Now I know this machine doesn't like going backwards. Most of them don't. And we'll put a knot in this one. And you're just backtracking basically. Oops, I've knocked it. And put a knot in this one. and it's snagging up. Yes, it's snagged up. Back with you in a minute. That's it. I've just cut the threads and sorted it out. Come back to it, put my bottom thread up and carry on. You don't have to really worry that you're going too close or too far apart, because it's part of nature. Nature does not have clear cut quarter of an inch lines. What I'm going to do a knot there. Look, it's snagging, it doesn't like going backwards. So what I did is sew sideways on it. I haven't used a slider on this machine because it's a metal base, which is very slippy in itself. Next is the window. The window and the frame itself, I did all the same pattern. So let's get to, and it's basically a C. There's a C. Come back on yourself and then go the opposite direction. Oh, you can't see. Back on yourself. Opposite direction. Do some small ones, big ones. Really big one there to fill that area. And that's what I did on it. Apart from I echoed the star-shaped top and bottom. Now, tip. You've just finished your piece and your quilt's out here and you can't get to... You can cut your top thread, but your bottom thread's awkward. The easiest thing to do is make sure your needle's up, lift the foot, move it quite away and then move it back again to more or less where it was, and how you would drop your needle to bring you, drop your foot and then drop your needle to bring your bottom thread up, and you move it out of the way. There's your bottom thread. So you can cut that and it cuts your bottom thread. You can cut your top thread where you want and see your bottom threads cut there. If obviously you've got a machine that has got a thread cutter on it, that might be alright. Another tip when you're doing your quilt is your backing may be bigger, well, will be bigger than your front, than your top. So make sure you pin the backing along onto your batting, or otherwise as you're quilting along the last bits of your quilt, it'll turn under, like what happened here with me just. It turned under because it's a bit of scrap, so I didn't bother pinning it right, so it turned under on me. But had I pinned it up to the backing, it would have been alright. So always pin your backing to stop it going underneath so you don't sew on it. And that's the patterns that I've just done. Let's trim that so you can see better. Flying geese, the stars, snowdrops, these that I did in the window panes themselves, they reminded me of snowballs. Obviously the wood grain and the little motifs in the flying geese. So thank you, bye.